We're not saying hi, everyone.
We're not saying hi,
because
everyone.
we've done that before. So we're just gonna say,
Hello.
we're back. All right. So since we last did a video,
Which was a long time ago.
feels like a long time ago. We've been a little busy.
Yeah.
Adopting kids and all.
Yeah. Whatever.
So we got matched. Our last video was matching contract, and so we got matched.
We are officially matched.
Official. And so we adopted. We're adopting 4 embryos, and we just couldn't be more excited. And so I did some mathing, and so that means that we're going to be. One of our friends calls us the VT3 because it's the 2 of us and then Gus, and so now we've decided that we're the VT7. So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Post-mathing. So anyway, we wanted to start off just kind of taking you through post-matching consultation and kind of up to where we are now.
Bringing you up to speed.
So after our consultation, it took about 10 days to actually get matched, which is crazy fast. I expected to know something within like 2 weeks because they said, the placing family has 2 weeks to decide once they see a profile, and then we have 2 weeks to decide. And they said, it could take like a few days for the matching director to pick somebody to give your profile to. So it happened in about 10 days, which is just crazy fast, and it was just really cool.
Yeah.
So we got the email, and I called Tim, and I said, Tim, and he said, I know. Or something like that. So anyway, so Tim came home from work, and we sat down and looked at the profile together, and
and so one thing that was very interesting about being matched is we had some subconscious ideas of who we were going to get matched with.
Like an expectation. We created this imaginary family in our heads.
And so, we want to be real with you guys, and we want to tell you everything that goes on through the whole process. And we just learned that we had these subconscious expectations. And so, we, unknowing to ourselves, we had this picture of who we thought we were going to be matched with. And
totally imaginary.
Yeah, totally made up. I couldn't even describe them, like what my expectations were, but I knew that I had those expectations after we got together and opened up the profile. And so, it wasn't like when we found our house, right? So we found this house that we're living in now. We walked in the front door, and before we were even into the living room, we said, This is it. This is the house. This is the house. And this wasn't actually like that, because we had these subconscious expectations. And, we looked at the profile, and it was great. We really liked the people. We were matched with some people, and they live in a part of the earth that we can't tell you because of confidentiality. So, but we, they're awesome people. We love them.
Cool, yeah.
And,
we haven't actually met them, but based on their profile, they seem really cool.
But they just weren't who we were expecting. And not that we really had a perfect idea of what our expectations were. So that's just one thing, if you're going through this process or considering going through it, make sure you're aware of those expectations, because we didn't even know we had them until we were matched. We thought, we're going to get matched, and, we're going to...
I had been praying that we would say yes to the first family. And I kind of had this idea, like Tim said, like of who God was going to bring to us. And I'm convinced now, we said yes. Spoiler alert, we said yes. And I'm convinced that this is the perfect thing for us because God's plan is perfect for us. But yeah, so like Tim said, so we kind of had these expectations. We were like, oh, okay, so this is not exactly what we thought it was going to be. And then, so we called the first lady that I talked to about Snowflake's embryo adoption. I emailed her and I was like, hey, we got our matching thing. Do you have time to talk to me? So we called her, and she encouraged us to just kind of evaluate our hearts and just kind of say, okay, she said, here's our experience. And she said, we already knew that we were going to pick the first person no matter what. Because to us, it was about giving kids a chance at life. And we didn't really care about anything else. So she said...
Yeah, she kind of just posed the question to us of, why are you doing this? Mm-hmm. Like, what is the reason you're doing embryo adoption? Is it to give kids a chance at life, or is it some other reason? So it was just kind of a heart check, and it was tough. It wasn't this immediate thing that we were expecting it to be.
But so she said, pray about it, tell some people that you trust, have them pray for you, and then wait. So we got matched on a Thursday, and then she said, wait until Monday or Tuesday, and I'm pretty sure that by Monday or Tuesday you're going to know.
Yeah, she said, you'll know. You'll know 100%.
So Sunday night, we looked at each other and said, let's do it.
Yeah.
And like I said, oh, hey, kid. Every day we're, I think, more convinced. Food, he wants food. Anyway, so yeah, that was a long explanation, but we're so excited.
Yeah.
We are thrilled, just beside ourselves thrilled, and convinced that this is what God has for us. Excited to be part of this family's life, and excited for them to be part of our lives. And totally trusting in God's plan for this. So after we said, we talked I emailed the agency Monday morning, Sunday night, and said, is it possible for the embryo report to get sent to our fertility clinic before we say yes, or do we need to say yes and then have the clinic? Because my understanding was that we had to say yes and then the clinic said yes. But Stephanie at Nightlight said, oh yeah, I'll send that over. So she sent our embryo report to our doctor at Dallas IVF. Her name's Dr. Havman. And y'all, let me just tell you, it's not.
It's
There's no R. Dallas IVF has been the best thing ever. I've been working with Tammy Stein. She is the kind of liaison coordinator for like embryo adoption and stuff. And she is so on the ball. She's amazing. And she's like, I haven't met her in person, but she always seems happy. And she always like texts or emails me like smiley faces in her emails, which makes me feel really good about that. But she got in touch with me and she's like, okay, I'll get this taken care of right away. And so she, runs around and gets signatures from everybody, and it's just been amazing to work with them. So that was a side note. Dallas IVF so far has just been the bomb.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. So it took a couple days because there was some deciphering of the report that had to take place. So the doctor looked at it, the embryologist looked at it, and then went back to the doctor, and then the doctor said, yes, these look great. So we were super excited, and I emailed Nightlight and said, yes, we want to say yes to this. So
it's like saying yes to the dress, only it's saying yes to the envelope, or not the envelopes, the embryos. Words are difficult.
It's also 9:15, and so after that, the Stephanie said, okay, great, I will send you an invoice. So we had another payment. Our last payment was the payment before contracts. And then, so we paid that. And then we got kind of passed on to the next person. And they said, all right, so the next person will get in touch with you for contracts within, I think she said like 3 to 5 business days. And it ended up being like 4 business days or something.
So 3 to 5 business days.
Yeah, so they're pretty on top of it over there at Nightlight too. And then, so Nicole was the next person that we talked to. And she said, okay, great. I have looked at the placing families, communication preferences, and I've looked at yours, and I've drafted this kind of paragraph of your contract. So she emailed that to us and said, just look it over and then tell me if this looks good. And it was stuff like both families have agreed to handle communication on their own, which means that we'll have direct contact via email or something. And then like they agree to, do Tim and Ellen agree to provide nightlight updates about the child for a minimum of 5 years, once a year. And then the adopting family agrees to give updates to the placing family for a minimum of once a year. And it was just like, for the first couple months, like basic major milestones and just kind of stuff like that. So that was really easy to say yes to. And then, so we talked about it. We said yes. And the next morning, Nicole got back to us and said, wow, this must be some kind of record because I've already heard from the placing family as well, and they've agreed. So then she said, okay, great, I'll send you the contract. So then we had the contract, and then that was like a 12-page form, and we kind of read through it, and it was just like basic
basic contract stuff that we're totally used to. So, I mean, it was a breeze to read.
It was well written in a way that people who don't know a lot about legal jargon, we understood it. So that was pretty cool. That it was 12 I think it was actually like 8 or 9 pages of contract, and then there was like 3 pages of signatures.
Yeah.
So it was a signature page for us, a signature page for the placing family, and then a signature page for the nightlight people. So the only little hiccup, catch, trick thing was that our signature page had to be notarized. And so it really isn't even that big of a deal. It was just like we had to coordinate schedules to like, first we had to find a notary because I didn't want to pay for one. And then, so it turns out our church had a notary. And so we had to be there by 5 sharp. And so we had to coordinate our schedules.
We squeaked in at 4:50.
I drove, like an hour from work to be there.
Yeah.
Which is irrelevant. But the point is, we definitely, so we coordinated, we got our signature page in, I mailed it the next day. Overnight shipping is ridiculously expensive. It was going to be like $23 to overnight ship. So I just elected to do the 49-cent stamp, and it still got there in like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
So that was great. So here we are. This is where we are. Nightlight has our contract page, our signature page. So we're waiting for the placing family to send theirs in, or we're waiting to hear that they have sent theirs in. And then we move into the shipping phase. So once everybody signs off on the contracts, then Nightlight starts coordinating with our clinic, Dallas IVF, and they work together to transfer.
Yep.
And they hire a courier service, I think, to do that. So that's where we are.
Yep.
And
we are
so
almost done. We are almost done with this whole process, and then it's up to God for the biological process. We're almost done with the
agency process.
The agency process.
Yeah. So then I'll go in for some medical tests in the next couple weeks and just kind of see where we are, where I need to be for just medically, and then hopefully in the next few months we'll be able to set up a transfer. So yeah, there you go. There we are. And we've been really blessed to be contacted by people who, on both sides of this, people who are looking to adopt, people who are thinking about donating their embryos, and it's been really encouraging to us to be able to be encouraging to them and a resource, and we've loved that. And thank you to everybody who is praying for us and supporting us financially, and we're just so excited to share this with you guys, and we're so excited that God is letting us be part of your lives through these videos. And yeah, I think that's all we got.
That's about it.
Pretty short. All right. So talk to you soon, I guess.
Question mark?
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.